Hello, everyone. We're just going to get started now. Welcome, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight. So my name is Maggie Darling, and I work for United Way in Northumberland. And I have the pleasure of working with Helen, Stephanie, and Nicole, who are all co-organizers of Period Promise in our community. Helen works with us as part-time staff at United Way, and Nicole represents Thrive Coalition, who is our partner in Period Promise, and Stephanie is our wonderful volunteer who was with us from the very beginning. So just a quick overview for some of you who are new. Period Promise, it aims to address period poverty. It began in United Way, Lower Mainland in British Columbia, kind of as a transition from Tampon Tuesday to be a little bit more inclusive and a little bit more advocacy oriented in how they were raising awareness around period poverty and raising product. So it focuses as well on the education sector, labor and unions, and policy and government relations, and how they can create some change in regards to period poverty. And as I mentioned, it is supported locally here in Northumberland by United Way and Thrive Northumberland. So some of our goals from the very beginning when we launched back in May, we wanted to focus on advocacy. So establishing connections with local businesses and doing outreach to local county and municipal councils. We also wanted to launch the Community Action Group, which is what you were all a part of tonight. And we've been doing some outreach with our local labor council and connecting with the local media to raise awareness around the issue and encourage donations locally. And Nicole is just going to give a bit of information on the collection and distribution from the perspective of Thrive.
Yeah, thanks for that, Maggie. For those that might not have heard about Thrive, we are a regional coalition of about 25 women organizations that support women who are fleeing violence, have experienced sexual assault, or survivors of human trafficking. So all of our member agencies support women in Northumberland in some capacity, from shelter to transition back into safe space, income support, employment support, informed trauma counseling, and everything in between. So that's just some context for Thrive. So with that said, we're kind of a gateway to women resource organizations, and we look forward to be able to help distribute the product and the donations that our community and industry partners are generously picking up Period Promise Northumberland as their cause. We'll also be looking at working with, last February, we convened a meeting with the Rose Quest. Some of you might know this amazing woman out of Port Hope who gets care packages to people across the county. And she actually struck up a hygiene product library, kind of like a free library outside of town hall, but the library is filled with free menstrual products. And so they're coming up on the end of their 1 year for evaluation. And if this was something that proved to be resourceful and useful, then Period Promise Northumberland would look to help take that county-wide. So in addition of trying to get free product into public places, this would be another request to local levels of government. But ultimately, in a nutshell, our goal is to set up a distribution line to women resources who are meeting women where they're at, who are distributing care products that would include menstrual products, or we're providing free inventory for their main points of care and access, as well as supporting our community action members in getting free menstrual products into schools, libraries, community centers, municipal town halls, places of worship, etc. But that's ultimately what the idea for distribution is, as well as trying to form a partnership with Food for All, which most of you may know is the distribution center for our local food banks.
Excellent. Thanks, Nicole. So since we launched last May, it's only been a couple of months, but we've had some great support from the local communities, some support from local businesses, and have a lot of exciting achievements that we've been able to accomplish in such a short period of time. And in that time, we've also seen a lot of accomplishments, not just locally here, but globally and internationally. And Helen is going to speak a little bit to that next.
Perfect. Thanks, Maggie. So as you can see on the screen, Scotland has made history, which is amazing. The Parliament has voted to put Monica Lennon's bill to end period poverty into law. So meaning that is that Scotland is providing free menstrual products to all individuals who experience a period, which is kind of our hopes of why we're starting it here locally. Just to give a little bit of a background on our community action team, our meetings began last fall. So summer 2020, we started with some public education and some awareness. So we started with some pledge supports, which was launched on our website. We got a great response from our communities. So, with the support from others, we were able to kind of get things rolling. So moving into fall 2020, our partnership began with Nurturing Health Neuropath Clinic, which they signed on as the very first period promise business, meaning that they are going to offer free product to their customers, clients, and employees, which is a big deal. We then later launched in October our community action group, which is you guys here, where our meetings then began in October and November. In our first meeting, we were joined by Christy from Nurturing Health Naturopathic Clinic, and she gave a presentation, which was really nice. And then following a meeting in November, we got a presentation from Alex Cairn and Jacqueline Santana from Gender Journeys, which is part of the Canadian Mental Health Association. So Gender Journeys, just a brief overview of that, is an organization that is helping transitioning individuals with anything that they're needing. Sorry, just to touch on that, they use inclusive messaging, and when discussing period poverty, how it's not just a women's issue. So back to the point where I said that it's for all individuals who experience a period, our goal is to be inclusive as possible. And moving forward, in December, we were given the opportunity from Inspire magazine to have an article that was locally written by an author talking about periods as well as a pandemic, right? So we're living in a pandemic right now, and access to hygiene products may be a little bit harder than normal for some. So this was a good opportunity to shine some light on the fact that we're doing some work here locally, as well as getting through a pandemic.
Thanks, Helen. Also
welcome.
at our November meeting, we launched our collection drive toolkit. So essentially that was a toolkit we had put together for anyone who was interested in running a collection campaign. It basically gave them everything they might need to do that. So we had some posters, social media graphics. We drafted some sample emails that they might send to friends and family. And we had some different collection tracking sheets. And from that, Nurturing Health and Nourish Boutique jumped at the opportunity to host a collection drive. So we're really appreciative of all that they did. They launched in the beginning of December, and they ran right through until December 31st. And we were actually just completely overwhelmed with the support that they had and the amount of product that they were able to bring in. So these are just a couple of photos we were able to capture. Here's Nicole with Christy and Grace from Nurturing Health, and just the amazing products that they were able to bring in that time. And then we also had Nourish as well. That's myself and Crystal from Nourish Boutique. And we collected, they had to pivot a little bit with the announcement of the second lockdown. They were not able to continue, but they helped to encourage people to then donate to Nurturing Health. And so the response was just incredible. So all in all, they were able to bring in over 5,000 products, 2,400 pads, 2,100 tampons, 78 menstrual cups, 2 reusable pads, and 13 hygiene wipes. And these menstrual cups also to Christy at Nurturing Health was incredible and reached out to different manufacturers to see if they would be interested in making a donation. So we were just completely overwhelmed with the response. And as soon as we got those products in, we started distributing them. So in the end of December, when the warming room opened at the Columbus Community Center here in Cobourg, we instantly rushed over and dropped off some product. So they've been really appreciative of that. They received 716 products, 240 pads, 200 tampons, 272 liners, and 4 packages of cleansing wipes. I was over also to the daytime warming room this week to just check to see if they needed any products as well. So they've said that the response has been great. They put together a bunch of different hygiene kits and have been handing them out to people that need them. So that has been an incredible response, and it's great to just see how quickly the products can get right back out into the community. Some additional achievements. So as Helen mentioned, Nurturing Health was the first to sign on. So we now have 3 signed agreements, Nurturing Health, United Way ourselves, and then also Thrive Northumberland. We also have spoken with the Labour Council, and they're really interested in getting involved. And we also have welcomed 2 placement students from Durham College's Public Relations program. Samaya is here tonight joining us. Samaya, I don't know if you want to say a couple words, but she is going to be working with us over the semester to advance what we're doing here locally and to bring some of her skills into sharing what we're doing essentially. Samaya, am I putting you on the spot? Or are you okay to?
I could, yeah, I'll try.
Yeah.
So hi, my name is Maya, and I am in my final year of Durham College's Public Relations program. And I'm pretty excited about getting to help out with this because when I first got the placement opportunity, I wasn't too sure like, oh, could I have like the courage to be like outgoing and speak about a topic like that? But it's actually been really good for myself to be able to grow in being more open to talk about things. And also I think I've done lots of research on the topic since then, and I didn't realize like how big the issue was in Ontario and Canada. So I'm pretty excited to help this move forward.
Thanks, Samaya. Yeah, she and another student have just been with us for 2 weeks now. They're just in with us for 1 day remotely, but yeah, they've brought so much to the table already. So we're really excited all that is in store for the coming semester. And then also we're working with Cobourg Collegiate Institute, and Stephanie is going to give a little update to share on what is happening there.
Thank you, Maggie. So right now I've been in touch with Molly Clintworth. She's a teacher at CCI, and we sort of talked about how we can get this rolling for the schools. And I've got my daughter Annabelle here. She's a grade 9 student at CCI, and she's been very instrumental in getting this started. I'll let Annabelle speak briefly on her Instagram campaign, which resulted in a great feedback from students far and wide.
Well, it's actually amazing how many like supporters and how it's countless people reaching out to me every day. It could be as little as, hey, I signed the pledge. That's great. So much positive feedback. I even have feedback from my friends in Toronto, just signing the pledge, letting me know that there's so many, that it's because that's what counts. And we have so many young influencers from CR Gummo and St. Mary's. And it's just awesome to see young audiences asking questions and hoping to get that message further spread out and everything.
And then we have a little list of next steps that we want to work on. Hopefully we can get that up and running after the lockdown, but we're going to set up an actual Instagram page for Northumberland schools, engage Gender Journeys for help with the educational component, write a letter to the principal at CCI to allow free product in all the washrooms, share strategies with teams from other schools. Once we're able to, we'll start a donation campaign and reach out to local businesses for help in acquiring product. So that's sort of where we are now. But unfortunately, the lockdown's kind of stopped some of our progress. So hopefully we'll get that rolling again.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you. Yeah, I get the pledge. So when everyone pledges support, it gets sent an email separately to my account. And the one day I was like, what is going on? Because every like couple minutes, it was just like pledges their support, pledges their support. So that's incredible. So we really appreciate all that you're doing and are really excited about all the opportunities that are out there to engage the youth in this issue locally. So it's incredible. So that is kind of our overview on the updates of what we had to share with you today. Of course, because we are all dealing with lockdown, we've had to transition a little bit and pivot in what we're planning on doing. But we are looking ahead to the spring to hopefully be able to get back out there and maybe do some collection drives around Menstrual Hygiene Day in May, which will also be our 1-year anniversary of Period Promise locally. So we're quite excited about that. If anyone has any questions, they can feel free to either hop onto the chat or just, unmute yourself and you can share. If not, it's just a quick meeting tonight to give you an update. So Stephanie, Nicole, or Helen, I'm not sure if there's anything else you want to include, but
maybe I'll kick off the Q&A session if I may, because I do appreciate that we have some new community action team members on the line, or folks who are just joining us to get a sense for what we're all about. So please jump in with ideas or comments or points of clarity. It's your time, and so we want to make sure that you're getting value in it. My question is to Annabelle. Have you thought, or maybe she's left, or maybe then to
she had to go get something, but I can ask her if
no, and I think a letter to the principal is great. This just makes me realize, if we have other governing or decision-making bodies like councils, labor council, et cetera, on our stakeholders, I just realized we don't have the school board, or more importantly, maybe the board of trustees on there, the folks who are actually the decision makers about prioritizing this, whether it's budget allocation or getting the appropriate infrastructure in the schools to support. I mean, that's a long-term goal, but I just realized, so I guess my comment's twofold. We should probably add board of trustees and or school boards to our stakeholder list of folks to advocate and get in front of. But my pointed question is to Annabelle and the group at CCI. Has there been any discussion about, the principal's great, but going one further to the board level, because I just think there's something really powerful about the harnessing of youth around this issue.
Right. You know what? I forgot that step about the going to the board level. That's a really good point. I guess we were looking more grassroots, but we definitely need to get the board involved. Yeah.
Yeah, I can comment a little bit about that as well, because that is one thing that Samaya has been pulling together for us. She pulled together the stakeholders list of all the school board contacts. So
that's awesome.
That is
really good
on our list as well. So perfect.
Yeah, I was also going to say, Stephanie, this might be helpful. Oh, sorry, Maggie. I didn't want to interrupt.
Go ahead.
There.
Yep, you're good, Christy.
I just wanted to say hi, Stephanie. I might connect you. With I have a co-op student. She's in grade 12 right now, but our co-op student Grace is from Port Hope High School, and she actually was hugely involved in the campaign that we ran in December. So she might just be a good contact through the high school to tell you, like, she was doing a lot of the outreach for us to get the donations and whatnot, and she approached her principal to see if they could be a drop-off site. But I understand that working through the health units right now is quite an issue with like getting things approved. But going forward, like from here, she's done with us end of January, but she might be a good contact for you to have just to get like Port Hope on board and help strengthen your voice and your efforts in this campaign. So I'll send you her email and you can reach out to her, because she'll be done with us in a couple weeks. But she's amazing, and she's very well versed in like gender equality, and it's a particular passion of hers. So she'd be probably a good one to have on your team.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you.
That's
I
great.
just want to
Yeah,
add
you're
in
welcome.
that with those two connections, Port Hope and CCI, I mean, I work myself for the school board, the public board of both of those schools. So, I mean, I don't know if it'll help, but we could always send something from my work email.
True.
A little poke, right? I don't know. It could be of assistance because I do also work for the public board, so might help.
That's great. Yeah, I just want to say hi to Derek. He's commented here in the chat from the Northumberland Coalition for Social Justice. So that's great to have you on the call, and we're looking forward to having you a part of it.
Maggie, can I actually, not to put Derek on the spot, but to call on him? I think it'd be great. I'm familiar with their coalition, but it might, for context, it might help for other members to hear a little bit more. And then Derek, I mean, I don't expect you to be like, this is why I'm here, but I know what I actually found interesting about our initial contact. I believe my understanding is you actually have a really strong interest, your coalition has a strong interest on that advocacy, or if you can even use the word lobbying, local and regional levels of government. I don't know if you want to speak to the original intention in reaching out to us.
You're just muted there, Derek.
Sorry, sometimes you can hit the space bar and hold it, and apparently sometimes you can't. But by now we're all used to, I guess, telling each other to unmute or whatever after, what, 9 months of this. So thank you for inviting us. I'm here representing the Northumberland Coalition for Social Justice. We've been around for a couple of years. We're an attempt to create a kind of a bridge between the various social justice organizations in the county. So what we try to do is offer people who are really committed to a particular issue, but are interested in progressive politics more generally, an opportunity to episodically, for short periods of time, support the activities of other organizations without feeling like they need to make a lifetime commitment. So for example, we have a lot of members of the Council of Canadians on our mailing list, and they'll come out for events organized by other organizations without feeling like they need to join that other organization. I hope that makes a certain amount of sense. It seems to work for us. We have about 250 people that we can call on. We've never gotten all 250 out for any particular event, but some of the things that we've done in the past, we've organized pickets at our MPP's office around a variety of issues since the last provincial election. Our last action, which got, I think, about 10 people out, was in support of migrant workers in the Kitchener-Waterloo area. We just had a small photo op at the Starbucks in Port Hope. So that's the kind of thing that we normally do. Lobbying, I'm not sure is something that we have a lot of experience of. We've done a bit of, we're more into sort of I guess mass actions would be a way of putting it, which doesn't always mean a physical action. One of the things that occurred to us is that we perhaps could get a couple of hundred people from the Coburg area or the Port Hope area. We're not quite so strong in Campbellford, and we don't have much of a presence at all in Brighton, but we might be able to get them out to put some pressure on town councils, on the school board, that sort of thing, in support of period promise. I hope that makes a certain amount of sense. And we're really, did I mention, we're really, really happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
No, that's great, Derek. I think your group's going to be a value-added channel to the work that we're doing. So thank you for finding us, and looking forward to that mutual collaboration as we undertake some of the more heavier lifting work with, yeah, I think it's fair to say I'm going to use the word lobbying, as we're requesting something of them rather than just advocacy through education. So thanks, Derek. Looking forward to formalizing more of a collaboration with your group.
Thanks, Derek. Yeah, just kind of going back to what Nicole was saying as well before, you know, we want these meetings to be kind of an opportunity for everyone to get involved and not just to be necessarily us speaking at you. So feel free to get involved, and if you have any questions or things you want to raise after but don't necessarily want to bring up on the chat, you can email me or, you know, reach out through the website, and that connects with us as well. And yeah, feel free to share this with your friends and family as well. The more people we can get involved, the greater impact we can have. So
Maggie, I don't know if you saw in the chat, you were just asked a question about a press release going out.
yes, I just got back to Chrissy. I just responded.
Oh, good. Okay, perfect.
And Maggie, if I may, just because I love calling upon people, but I think it's important to recognize, I really love when people take the initiative to reach out to us with some great ideas, and they were like, just come to this group meeting and we'll sort it out. I believe Rachel is here with us from Coburg Library, and I actually thought that was really interesting that we actually had a municipal facility, you know, a destination for multiple, you know, community access. And so, you know, Rachel, if I don't know what inspired you to reach out, or some initial thoughts you have, or
yeah, thanks, Nicole, and thank you both for inviting me to be here today. I think that from the library's point of view, we actually at one point were supplying menstrual products to women, and the need was so much that we couldn't continue on with it from a funding standpoint. So when I saw that this was happening in our community, I was ecstatic to realize that it was happening and that we might be able to get on board to be a distribution point again. And not only that, but now that I'm here, it would be great to be a part of the educational aspect of it, like the advocacy behind it would be great for us. We do have a bit of a social media reach, so anything that we can do, just let us know.
thank you. That's great. And yeah, just to be a little bit braggy about ourselves, but as you mentioned, we are the third community in Ontario to bring this locally. The first one being Hamilton Halton, and the second one being Niagara. So especially the size of the communities in relation. So I'm quite excited that we were able to bring this to our community as well. All right, does anyone else have any other questions or any other input before we end off here? We're good. Awesome. All right. Well, then I think we're able to go on about the rest of our night. Enjoy your evenings and stay safe, everyone.
thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Take good care.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.